For the final case study project, my client is an 18-year-old hockey player getting ready for the NHL hockey draft. For the purpose of this video assignment, Todd will stand in place of the hockey player. Aerobic fitness is extremely important for a hockey player. Therefore, the first fitness assessment I would use for my client profile is the Ebling treadmill walking test. This test is very safe and easy to administer. This submaximal test is used to estimate VO2 max, which is an excellent predictor of a client's health, fitness, and athletic performance. So Todd is warming up right now. He'll do that for a total of 4 minutes at 0% grade and at a speed in which his heart rate is between 50 to 70% of his predicted maximum heart rate. Once the warm-up is done, he'll continue to walk for another 4 minutes at a grade of 5%. His heart rate will be recorded during the final 15 seconds of each minute. The data we collect would then be plugged into a formula that will give us his estimated VO2 max. Next fitness assessment I would use for a hockey player is the vertical jump. This measures muscular power in the legs. Being able to use maximal force in the shortest time possible is important in a sport like hockey due to the nature of the game. For example, the player needs to be as productive as possible during their short shifts on the ice. The first step in this assessment is to have Todd stand tall with his feet flat on the floor. He will reach as high as he can and touch the measuring tape on the wall. This will be recorded to the nearest half centimeter. The next step is to have Todd bend down in a kind of squatting position with his arms down and back behind him. From this position, he will jump as high as he can, bringing his arms forward and up to touch the tape on the wall. He can have 3 trials with about a 10 to 15 second rest in between. The data we have recorded will be plugged into a formula that will tell us the client's peak leg power. The third assessment I would use for my client profile is the sit and reach test. This test is used to measure hamstring and lower back flexibility. Flexibility is important for a hockey player as it helps reduce the chance of injury and allows the player to move with greater dexterity. Todd has already warmed up by performing a few stretches. He will now sit on the mat with his legs fully extended. The soles of his feet are flat against the flexometer and 6 inches apart. This is actually a modified flexometer that we're using, but it'll still work. He will have his palms down with one hand over the other. He will reach forward as far as possible, and once he holds that position for 2 seconds, that's what we will record. He can lower his head and exhale in order to be able to reach further. His knees cannot be bent either. He will then repeat this. That's good, Todd. He will then repeat this again, and the higher of the 2 scores will be used.